Insomnia Art with Naval Cosmos. Subject for today is the Hellboy. The Hellboy, actually good guy in this case. Popular character, had two movies, a lot of comics and animation actually. Short little understanding of Hellboy for those who don't know. Hellboy was a character who was born in during the Nazi Germany during World War II. Was brought on this plane to cause the end of the world. He decided to do something else. I really have a great fondness of this character. It kind of reminds me of a time where I read a lot of comics in my, I would say, mid 20s, just to date myself a little bit. And this is one of the comics I really dug into. We read it once at a comic book talk I used to have at my local comic book store. The assignment was Hellboy, and ever since I've been in love with the character. The books are very deep in lore and understanding of exactly where this character comes from, and that just fascinated me. Just right up the alley I needed. As you can see right now, I'm just laying in some basic pencils, trying to get a basic idea of how I want the look to be for my Hellboy. You see he's rocking the short shorts. It's the 1940s, people. Short shorts were super in back then. Gotta have them available space to just jump over things. And that's what those legs are for. Right now I'm doing his right hand of doom, which is one of the coolest weapons in comics. It's very ambiguous to what that actually thing does. It's a key to open up the Armageddons. So he just uses it in standard fashion just to beat monsters over the head with it. He's a paranormal investigator, the best, within his universe. And he solves these paranormal crimes with the Bureau of Paranormal Research and Defense. I love the movies. Guillermo del Toro knocked those out of the park every time. The Golden Army was a bit shaky, but still a good movie altogether. Ron Perlman, of course, killed it as Hellboy. You can see I've already laid my pencils down. Now I'm going into my inking. Getting those legs done first. I don't know. Lately I've been starting my inking at the bottom of my pieces because I've gotten to the idea where if I do the face first, I may be a bit rusty inking, and I don't want the face to be the weakest part of the image. So I'll usually start from the bottom now and work my way up, so by the time I do the face last, I'm nice and ready to do the most important part of the piece, of any piece really, is the centerpiece is the face. You want to get that right. So now I'm laying down my shadows, putting in some inks, working on the character. Hellboy's a really interesting character. He kind of reminds me of some parts Ben Grimm, because he's really down to earth. He doesn't think too hard about the things he has to do. He just kind of goes in there and does what he has to do. But he's extremely skilled. He reminds me of like a Doctor Strange almost, where he's extremely smart where he needs to be, which is in the extermination of paranormal creatures, ghosts, Baba Yagas, Iron Maidens, or whatever the multitude of things he has to fight on a daily basis. There's a very colorful cast of characters. Abe Sapien, super cool. Super close to drawing him, because Abe Sapien is just a fascinating looking creature. But I recently did Aquaman, and I wanted to kind of steer out of the curve, out of the water motif. Maybe next time, Abe. Maybe next time. Liz Sherman, local pyromancer. Not really a pyromancer, she's just kind of pyro-friendly. Kind of like Drew Barrymore in Firestarter. That's a good movie. Super good movie. Watch that if you haven't watched it. Just do it. And I'm drawing this little thing in his hand. I don't know what I was going for with this. It was kind of like a weird squiddy thing with a skull. The skull's not really proportioned out well. Just kind of threw it in there just to be goofy. Give him something to do with that hand. The right hand of dumb. Right now I'm laying in his heavy shadows, because with this character you can get really heavy with the shadows and it looks just fine. A lot of Judeo-Christian imagery with this character. He's kind of like Nightcrawler, to where looks can be deceiving. Yes, he looks like a giant super demon, but he's actually a man of God, and I think that's pretty a cool juxtaposition of character. I like with Nightcrawler, like with Hellboy. I just like that don't judge a book by its cover kind of character. Now I'm laying in my background, which I wanted to do my own little homage to the original artist of Hellboy, Mike Mignola. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his last name right, but his art style is very unique, like the most unique art style I've ever seen. And people either love it or hate it. And me personally, I absolutely love it. It's so distinct. And by the time you're reading the books and you're getting into it, the art style, you just can't see anybody else drawing this character. And I'm just kind of paying my own homage to it right now. I had to jump in the yellow zone for a second, try to get my tones, how I want this image to be colored. Didn't like that orangey red color, so I kind of started over and kind of went back at it. And with arts and pieces like this, it's important to try again, because I'm no colorologist. I'm working hard every day to strengthen my coloring. It's something you just have to do. It's no problem with making mistakes. We all make mistakes, but the thing is, you learn from them and you keep on chugging, so to speak. So now I'm just laying in my flat reflections for his chest. I wanted to add hair to his chest, but just got lost in the process. I didn't really end up doing it, which is fine. I've seen interpretations of him without it, so I wasn't really worrying about it. Now I'm doing his face and his shaved horns, which he has to shave daily because his horns would just scroll back to these giant legend level horns, which is super cool looking. But I want to go with the more iconic look. And now I'm coloring my bluish little weird squid Cthulhu skull thing, and that's turning out pretty well. I want to give it some blue goo. And I'm doing this iconic coat, which is a weird dirty tan, which is awesome. So I'm laying in my lighting there, and I'm doing his little jorts, little short shorts, and his belt buckle, and his BPRD belt buckle I want to make sure I got. And this picture is wrapping up. It's going to be laying in his background very soon, which is another homage to original art. And kind of there you have it. I love the way this one turned out, and I hope you like it too. Visit my website, neighborhoodcosmos.com, .wordpress.com. Hope you dig it. I need to get some sleep. See you later.